Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome back to the channel. Anyone that's already following my readings, and welcome to anyone new. I hope you guys are all doing amazingly. This is actually my very first reading of 2024. So whenever you are tuning into this, it's a timeless reading, so you could be checking in with this in like 6 months time, but you know, welcome at any time. But if you're tuning in with it now, happy new year guys, and it is amazing to be reading for you, and I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and New Year, and you are fired up and passionate and excited about the coming year. So we're actually asking today in these readings, what is the most important thing that you actually need to be aware of in the first 3 months of this year? So January, February, March. Now, although I've said this is a timeless reading, you could be watching it in a year's time, or you could just be tuned in to the cards. Sometimes we're just drawn to a card and we just know that's the reading for us. Messages always come through at the right time for us, I believe. But we are asking right here and right now today, what is the most important thing you need to be aware of in the next 3 months? And this is like a key piece of information, something that will help you to understand your life or navigate your life from a position of empowerment, or not miss something when it shows up for you, that kind of thing, like a key piece of information that Spirit wishes you to be aware of, really to assist you in a big way. So let us draw 3 cards together. We also have 3 2 stones and a feather here as well, connecting to these readings. So let me draw the cards for you first. So this is for pile 1. I'm actually saying this for pile 2 and this card for pile 3. Okay. Pile 1, you have the 4 of Wands. This is your card. And this is sitting with a beautiful piece of chalk. This is pure chalk, which I actually collected from a very, very, very sacred place here in Wiltshire. It was a site where there used to be a white horse that isn't there anymore. We have lots of white horses, chalk horses in Wiltshire, but there are several that have grown over. And this came from a site where there was once a white horse, so a very ancient place. So this is the chalk. And that is pile 1. Pile 2, you have the 5 of Wands. Okay, how interesting. We have a progression, 4 of Wands and 5 of Wands. Okay, so 5 of Wands, and with the 5 of Wands we have this beautiful flint heart. It's naturally formed in this way. This is a piece of stone that I actually came across when I was walking. And this has quite a strong connection to Cornwall and to a place where the Michael line and the Mary line enter the UK. But I'll say more about that in the reading if it is relevant, okay, and not if it's not. So let's just place that there. So we have a flint heart. And then for pile 3, we have the 5 of Swords. This is your card. Okay. And for this we have a feather, beautiful feather again that I found out walking on the land, actually on some woodlands that I spend a lot of time in, and I've planted many trees there. So beautiful place, extraordinary energy. So this is the feather that is sitting with pile 3. Okay. So my beautiful souls, take as long as you need. The timestamps are in the description box below, and I'll put them in a comment as well. So tune in, see which of these readings you're drawn to. If there's more than one, it's probably worth you checking them out. And you know, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you also all of you who've been giving back through the super thanks over Christmas and New Year's. If you're coming to this reading as I'm doing it, I haven't yet gone through and said thank you to you all personally, but I will be doing that. Beautiful souls, I will leave you to tune in to the readings. Tons of love, and I will see you in just a moment. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. So we have this beautiful piece of chalk from a white horse. Interestingly enough, a white horse that has been kind of grown over. It's really interesting, just that's coming through here as relevant to your reading somehow. Now, Four of Wands. What I feel you're being shown first of all here is that there is something that you can invest in these next 3 months that is going to come to fruition. And there's a real encouragement here for you to invest wisely. Don't stop. I don't think this is something that's brand new to you. I'm not seeing like a brand new beginning, but I am seeing something that you've already started something. And there's a massive encouragement here for you to say, look, if you keep at this, this is literally going to transform from like a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's going to open up. You're going to reach a point of real celebration, like fulfillment in some shape or form. Let us ask about this. Let's get some more information for you. May we have more information about this? I'm going to do some oracle cards for you first. Yeah. Okay, so you have energy signature. The past is in the present. Now this is so interesting. So I was saying this came from a horse that is no longer visible. You're bringing something. You're bringing something forth. You're investing in something that I sort of feel like it has some kind of like cosmic knowledge attached to it, you know, some kind of ancient wisdom, something that you're bringing it to light, and in a really unique way, energy signature. It's almost as though this really is connected to your calling or your purpose. But I'm seeing it coming to fruition within a very short space of time if you really commit to it, and commit to it with joy as well. This is not something that should be a slog. This is something that you should be loving every second, every minute, because it's like a cherished vocation, and the energy that you put into it is going to be within it, really. It's like cooking food, isn't it? If you, let's say you were an amazing chef and you're setting out to start a business, rather than feeling bogged down or overloaded, every element of joy that you place into that food will be delivered, and everybody will eat it and they will feel the energy signature within the food. So there's something about bringing something forth with joy. But I just think it's going to come to fruition in an amazing way. How interesting. We have this beautiful woman, very dark woman here coming through. Spend time reclaiming your balance, and there you will find peace. Okay. What else do we have here? Okay. This one I'm seeing here. And this one too. Wow, we have a real warrior woman here. Have faith in yourself and higher powers. They lead you in dark times, even when you feel you've lost guidance. Okay. We'll get more information here, but what I'm seeing here, yeah, is what I was going to say was I feel like you've not lost your way as such, but there is something you have been working on that you've lost your energy, your zing, your passion for it. Something else has come along perhaps and diverted you, but this is a calling, this is a pathway, and so really Spirit is saying to you, look, you know, come back to this, re-anchor yourself in this. And this card says the path isn't always a straight line. You come back to things you thought you understood, and you see deeper truths. You know, I feel that maybe you were knocked off balance by something. It sent you into a place of deep thought, really. But you know, part of that, there is some learning within that will then become present in the circumstances that you're investing in. Whatever it is, there is something for you to invest in, nurture, bring forth. And I'm seeing really early results, positive results from this within the next 3 months. But right here and right now, I feel like your energy is depleted here. Your energy has been depleted. Something's knocked you off balance a little bit. May we have more information about this, please? What has knocked pile 1 off balance? What is this about? I'm seeing these two and this one. Yeah, 4C, patience and purpose. Okay. Right. You've been climbing a ladder, you know, and I think you know that what you're doing can bring forth success. Okay, and I think you know it is your purpose. I think you know the timing is right for what you are bringing. But I think it has been, you know, almost like when you suddenly realize this is a much bigger task than you realized. And also, it's not just that it's a much bigger task than you realized. I think also, you know, life also happens. It's very interesting, you know, I was speaking with someone just the other day about the kind of astrology and the energy of 2023, certainly the latter part of 2023, and I feel it is relevant to your reading, so I will voice this. What I was saying was that, you know, there was a lot of retrograde energy, so I think for many people it felt like they were really working hard, investing, but not seeing the results, like wading through treacle or walking upstream in a river, and all the energy is being expended into maintaining that progress without necessarily seeing the immediate big results that you were hoping for. And actually, what I kind of said to this person was, you know, in reality, when you are walking upstream or you're wading through treacle, you're building muscle. You may not realize it because you're not seeing the immediate external results, but you're building muscle, you're building resilience. Because actually walking upstream in a river is hard work. So you're not seeing the direct results immediately, but they are being built. There is a foundation coming through for you. And this is what I'm seeing here. I think you have been investing in something, and maybe you just kind of ended up feeling a bit worn out, or feeling like it would never quite happen, or it was such a bigger task. You thought you would get to the top of the ladder before, and you haven't yet got there. But this reading is here to reassure you that the timing actually is right, and there is divine timing, and actually building that muscle was really important. So have patience and continue to invest. I think this is going to suddenly take off. It's like suddenly you'll see the path. There is a perseverance needed here. I think you have kind of not sunk into the shadows as such, but maybe there has been some self-doubt around this. If you were writing a book, for example, you might have ended up feeling like you would never quite manage to achieve it, or you wouldn't get to the right ending, or something like that. Perhaps there was a writer's block. But you know, just keeping your life in balance, and then methodically, still with great purpose, and methodically with patience, continuing on this pathway, you will reach the goal that you desire. And I think it will come to fruition actually much more quickly than you realize. Let's take out some tarot cards for you and see what we are shown. Can we have an idea, some more information about this for pile 1? Yeah, 4 of Pentacles we have here. We have the Knight of Swords. Okay, we have the Hierophant, and look at the stairway coming through here again. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and we can have one more, I think, here. Okay. Yes, and the Page of Cups. Look at this. This is the Pigs Might Fly card. Okay. What I am seeing here is there is something you have to kind of let go of. Now, it may be your expectation of how fast something would develop, or it may also be that something else in a different area of your life has knocked you off balance. and you are needing to definitely let go of something, not cling to, maybe just not cling to the exact way that you thought this would pan out and happen. Going back to that analogy of you writing a book, maybe you had an ending in mind and you thought that was the ending you were going to write, and maybe there is a different ending that will now have emerged because other information was going to be coming through. I'm seeing stepping stones here. Other information would be revealed. It's like this white horse sight, you know, something that once was visible now isn't visible, and yet the energy is still there. The energy signature is still there. I think something is coming to light. The past is in the present. Yeah, I think information is coming to you. We'll ask for some clarifying cards about this. Overall, the flow is very clear for the next 3 months. Don't cling to doing something in a fixed way, because I think there will be another approach to this. And the moment you shift that perspective to, rather than it being a straight road, recognizing it's a windy road with purpose, you're going to be able to go for it. You're going to re-find your focus. And once you do, it's then like a clear pathway ahead. Something else has had to be revealed to you in order to bring this forth. And it will feel like your energy is revitalized the moment you recognize there is a different approach to this, like a different ending or a different way of doing something. And you're going to love it. It will be bigger and better and a much better ending than you had considered. Now, obviously, this is a general reading, so you need to take the messages in a way that will connect to your own personal circumstances. But I am going to ask a little bit about what knocked you off balance actually here. Let's seek some clarification. What knocked you off balance? What is it you could be clinging to or holding on to that could then be in the way of all of this happening? May we have clarification. What knocked pile 1 off balance? Or what depleted their energy? Or took away their focus? I'm seeing these 2 cards and this one. So we have the Queen of Roses. How interesting. We have the One of Scrolls on track. This is your first card. Then we have the Queen of Scrolls in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Roses in an upright position. So what I'm seeing here is you are on track, and what you actually are doing is definitely right. I think there is possibly the influence of a somebody around you. The Queen of Scrolls in reverse is suggesting that somebody's leaving your life or departing, or the energy, the influence of someone. Maybe you had a mentor that you were working with, and actually now you're changing your mentor. They're retiring or they're leaving. That somebody is exiting some part of your life at the moment, and part of the exiting is to clear your energy and to give you a new perspective on what you are already doing. But what you are already doing is on track. This is really, really, really clear. Somehow there was an influence of someone, and interestingly enough, the influence just did knock you off balance. Maybe they took up more time than they should have done, or their ideas made you think that your ideas were less, and therefore you shifted to a different perspective rather than remaining on track. I feel like you need to return to yourself somehow, and then everything will then fall into place. And it may not even be a full exit of someone, but it's like returning to yourself, giving you yourself your full focus, rather than being distracted by someone else or somebody else's agenda, somebody else's story, literally, with the Queen of Scrolls. Maybe you have been involved If you're watching this as I am posting it, maybe you have been involved with family over Christmas and perhaps their stories or even their drama took over your energy and depleted you. Now it's time to get back on track yourself. Perhaps there will be something from that drama that will fuel some element of your story or bring some insight and awareness to you. But there is definitely, this is a time to be letting go of the influence of someone and returning to yourself. So, my beautiful pile one, the key piece of information, really, the most important thing you need to be aware of is to return to yourself and be on track with something you are working on, because it is going to come to fruition, and it is going to come to fruition fast. Have patience and be methodical about your commitment. But once you realign your energy with your own story, okay, then you can build it and it will grow. I feel like you were diverted by somebody else's story, someone else's agenda, or just by circumstances that removed your vision from, you know, what would have been your vision, your goal, your ultimate. It's almost like if you had a vision board, that was your vision board, and then you met someone and it almost made you think, oh, I should throw that out the window and do another one that's more like theirs, or I should put their stuff onto my vision board. That this is about realigning your energy, and then I am seeing everything then come into place for you very, very quickly indeed, really quickly. And with the Page of Cups and the Queen of Roses, who is also the Queen of Cups, I think we're seeing fruition. Something that was a dream that then comes true because your energy is aligned with exactly where it should be, which is about your vision and your goal, rather than being dissipated, the energy being dissipated by someone else's. The timing is right in the next 3 months. And so this is the key piece of information that is being given to you, I think, with a real acknowledgement and assurance that you can manifest the vision that you had in no uncertain terms. It is just your energy has been diminished, depleted, distracted, diverted in some way, shape or form. It is now time to put your warrior woman hat on, non-gender specific, I would say, however you identify, he, she, they. Yeah, put your warrior woman hat on and realign yourself with your vision, and anyone around you will align with you if they are right, if they are and should be a rightful place or have a rightful place in your world. They will align their energy in accordance with you. This is definitely a time where you need to energetically set the pace for yourself, and that is the right thing to be doing, and everything else will then fall into place. And I am seeing really dreams coming true and coming to fruition with so much abundance, it's untrue. Pile one, this is your reading. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I hope you are having an amazing time, whenever you are tuning into this reading. And I look forward to seeing you for another reading really, really soon. Tons of love, beautiful souls. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. You have the Five of Wands and this beautiful heart, this flint heart. Now, there is a connection to the Michael line and the Mary line to this stone. I will voice it in a moment. I think this may be a relationship reading. What is really coming through with your card, I'm seeing her sitting here, you know, kind of going through these petals like he loves me not, or she loves me not, however that would be. There's a wistfulness about this, and I feel like you are being asked to step into the very best version of yourself, or there is an opportunity for something to unfold or emerge. These petals, these 5 petals are like the Venus star, which is also connected to love, to relationships. And there is a a saying that is written, I love it, that comes with this book, that comes with the book here, and it says, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. And I just feel there is something around you, an opportunity. Now, whether this is connected to relationship and love for some of you, and maybe just the essence of this is apparent in some aspect of your life, but there is something that can unfold here in the next 3 months. And this is the piece of information. I think it's right in front of you. So the connection with this and to relationship is the coming together. If you have ever visited, if you're in the UK, or if you have ever visited the UK, there is a place in Cornwall, which is the very southwest tip of the UK. And there is a place called St Michael's Mount. And it is the place where the Michael line and the Mary line meet. They both, these are big energy lines. They run from Cornwall right through to the east coast in East Anglia. And the Michael line is it wavers, but it's reasonably straight. And then the Mary line, being the feminine, kind of zigzags like a snake. But there are places where they cross. And these points are called the kissing points. And if you draw a line between all of those kissing points and you put a ruler through them, they make a complete straight line, and that straight line is in perfect alignment with the rising and setting of the sun on the equinoxes. And so that point of equal balance, that point of coming together. So everything in your reading is about something coming together. The divine masculine, the divine feminine, some kind of relationship, some kind of love. And the reason I connect this stone to this is that if you walk up St Michael's Mount, halfway up, about halfway up, maybe 2/3 of the way up, in the pathway, which is like cobbled, there is a perfect heart-shaped stone. I think it is a granite stone actually, but nevertheless it's a perfect heart-shaped stone. And when I found this piece of flint, it totally tuned me in and took me to that point as you climb that hill. And that is the very first kissing point in the UK, at St Michael's Mount, where the Mary line and the Michael line meet. That is the very first of those kissing points. So there is something right in front of you that can unfold. I believe it has some connection for many of you to some form of love, some form of relationship. You know, she or he loves me, she loves me not, whatever this is. And I think it can blossom very quickly, because this is about what you need to know, a key piece of information for the next 3 months, the most important piece of information, the most important thing you need to know. And I think it's right in front of you. It's like an opportunity, whether this is an existing relationship and you rekindle love, or you're starting from a new beginning. But there is something that I think your heart is longing for. I mean, maybe a conversation needs to be had. Let's now draw cards for you and see what else we're shown. Ooh, okay. There's your card, just wanting to fly out. Energy signature, how interesting. The past is in the present. This card came out in pile 1. Now, it's a very different reading, but if you were drawn to both, because there could be some impact or some connection between the two, then I would recommend checking out pile 1 as well. I am wondering if for some of you there is something that needs to be revived. Something that is right in front of you, a possibility that could be revived, reopened, the past coming into the present, maybe even an old love coming into your world, someone you knew before that you could reconnect with. The past comes into the present. It's like there was a spark, an electricity, I feel, in this connection. Do you feel this strongly speaks of love, of intimacy, but it could be another kind of relationship. But there has been an incredibly powerful electric connection. Somehow almost you could hardly bear to touch it. You could hardly bear to go there. It was like it could have offered you the earth, the universe. And somehow something went wrong with this, that that meant it kind of almost got shelved or put in the past. Maybe it just felt too bright. You know, sometimes we really struggle to really take an ownership of the potential of something because it is just too magical for words. It's like the light and the possibility, the electricity, the chemistry is so amazing. It can press every insecurity button we have, can't it? Or just make us feel like it's almost safer not to go there. Back to that saying again. You know, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. There is something for you to embrace, I think. I believe you have a choice in it, and I think the energy of it, like the Mary and the Michael line, these are powerful energy lines. Perhaps two of the most powerful energy lines, certainly in the UK, and they extend way beyond. Two of the most powerful energy lines on the earth that come together. We better draw more cards for you, pile 2. May we have more information. You have heal, yeah. Maybe there was a disagreement or a lack of communication in some way. It's time to heal that. Something can be healed here if you wish it to. What else are we shown for my beautiful pile 2s? Trust, yes. Look at this. Wowza wow. And prepare. And look at the egg. This is an egg that can be hatched. Look at these 2 crescent moons. Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe could you not trust yourself, or could you not trust the other person? Was there a lack of communication? Is this a long distance relationship? There's distance between you. I'm not seeing you connected here. You are connected, you're energetically connected, the chemistry is there, the spark is there. Maybe some of you, this is someone who is overseas, or maybe you just saw them as being, you know, like a distant light. Someone you looked up to, someone you thought was just amazing, but that you couldn't possibly touch them, that you couldn't possibly reach them. And yet there they are, you know, whichever side of this you are sitting, there they are, sitting wistfully thinking of you. Yeah, either you are sitting wistfully thinking of someone and they couldn't quite reach to you, but I feel like there was an opportunity, there is an opportunity. It's not that there was, and somehow it didn't quite happen. It's time to heal and to trust that this can work. This is like a cosmic egg of possibility. And you can prepare for this. You don't have to rush in. You can prepare. You can think about this. You can sow seeds. You can contemplate how to move this forwards. The key, of course, is to hold the trust and to recognize that healing is possible. I feel there has been some rift or some separation, perhaps because of the separation, perhaps because of a lack of trust. Somehow something got put down when it could have been seized. We need more cards for you, my beautiful pile 2. This is your first card. How interesting. And we see a second, we see a stag, and I was going to say a second unicorn, but a unicorn. I always saw this as a unicorn to start with. Anyway, let us see what this says. Honor your commitments. Be loyal to your soul's longings. This is where you will find joy. Yeah, you know in your heart of hearts that this is what you want, this is what you desire, and yet for some reason you are not allowing yourself this possibility. Make peace with the wildness within you and all Mother Earth's creations. This is like saying, I think this is such a powerful connection that it's scared the living daylights out of some of you, and it was almost safer to retreat and not go there than to take that risk. Allow that wildness within you to be ignited, that passion to be heard. Never be afraid to voice your truth, as truth comes from a deep place within your soul. Yeah, I think a conversation never happened. Feelings were never voiced or expressed, and I think they need to be. Don't be afraid to have your voice, to speak your truth, to say how you feel. And look at that, you know, we have the stag here. Honor your commitments, be loyal to your soul's longings. This is where you will find joy. And can you see in the shadows, we have the stag sitting in the shadows. You need to acknowledge how you really feel about this potential, this person, this connection. Let's draw cards. I would like to ask for clarification about this. What is the preparation about? And I mean, is this just like acknowledging to yourself your feelings, taking a real ownership of them regardless, or will something come of this? You know, will this candle light a torch, and is this a torch you should be carrying? Everything in your reading is suggesting that it is. It will be too painful to remain in a bud. Far too painful, far more painful to remain detached from this person, or distant, or not speaking your truth, than it will to voice your truth. But let us ask, should pile 2 just be voicing this to themselves, or should they be speaking to this other person? Man, you're giving yourselves a hard time. It's like, okay, so there's a lot of procrastination, 5 of Swords here. This is like seriously giving you a headache, isn't it? And yet there is the possibility to be liberated here, to find enlightenment, so to speak, in terms of how you voice this. You have the 7 of Pentacles. This is worth investing in. You can grow something from this. This is also saying you can grow your confidence. There is, so we are being shown preparation here. Maybe ask for kind of maybe more detailed information, please. Clarification, detailed information for pile 2, please. Okay. What I'm seeing is you're really despondent about, it's like, this is, I think it's overwhelmed you, like, basically. That's what I feel. I feel there's an overwhelm here. And yet this is loaded with potential. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Star. Maybe you feel you blew it. Did you feel like because you didn't reach out or you didn't say something, are you feeling like you've blown it? Look, this can be nurtured. Whatever seeds were sown, you can dig them up and start again. You could reach out with something. You can make an offer of something. That's what I'm seeing, making an offer of something. A gift, maybe. Something even quite practical or pragmatic. There is something you can do here. And this is the preparation. You can sow a seed. And I actually think if you sow the seed, you'll get the response that you desire. This is what we're being shown here. So kind of try to stop worrying about this. I'm seeing it's giving you a big headache. You can sow a seed. You can, this is the preparation. It's like, you can just tentatively pave the way, and I think you'll get the response you need. This doesn't have to be this full-on direct communication. This is how I feel, this is what I want, these are my dreams. It can just be tentatively paving the way, sowing a seed, just an invitation, an offer of something, and I think you'll get an incredible response back. I think you'll get the response that shifts the energy and tells you that this can be healed. It's like saying sorry to someone, isn't it? Just reaching out. I'm really sorry. I lost touch with you. Yeah, I'm really sorry I didn't follow that through. I'm really sorry I wasn't able to have that conversation. But actually, I think you can do that. There's a reaching out here. You're being encouraged to reach out. May we have more information for pile 2, please? Yeah, the Akashic Library. Yes. Do you know, open a book and you may get some really key piece of valuable kind of words or something. And it's a bit like those words, isn't it? And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Yeah, you might find if you're stuck for words that you open a book and you'll find it, or you might want to send a letter or an email, or you could send a piece of poetry, whatever that is. But I think you can reach out in a written way, even if it's just dropping someone an email. How you doing? Yeah, sorry I've lost touch, or sorry I've not been around, or whatever that is. I think you can do this. You can reach out in an email or a letter or a card or something. You can write something here, and that will pave the way here. We have the Akashic field as well. The chemistry between you guys is amazing. It feels like this is really destined, this connection, actually. Like literally, this is a lot of cards. Yeah, I think we'll do them. We'll use them all. Here they are. So you have the Akashic Library, you have the Akashic field. I mean, this is the chemistry, the energy between you. One of forces. It's incredible. I'm seeing Queen of Scrolls writing again. Do you know, even if just to clear your despondency, you write a letter not to send, but I do see you reaching out. And then we have the initiation and Count Saint Germain. Now this is in reverse, as is the Master Artisan. Okay. Curiously enough, I think this is really telling us in the reverse positions that you don't have to be perfect at this. The Master Artisan is an amazing creator. You don't have to be perfect at this. You can just reach out. You don't have to get it exactly right. I think you're placing yourself under profound pressure here, pile 2. When actually, I feel like you're going to get the receptivity that you desire. The biggest block in many ways is you allowing yourself to believe with the Star card. I'm going to just draw another card just to see. Maybe ask, where is this going? Or what the potential outcome. I mean, your key message, the most important piece of information you need to be aware of for this next 3 months is that there is something right in front of you, and it's an incredible opportunity, and I think you're deliberating. And, that would be a great loss, I believe. You can rekindle something, you can bring something back from the past, you can reopen it, you can do something with this. You're not without agency. You've been tying yourself in knots, and this is the key message for you. But maybe just ask for anything further, guidance perhaps. Yeah, guidance for paths unknown. And look at the scrolls here as well. This is back to the same thing again, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. There is a whole new pathway ahead of you if you wish to take it. We are being shown you have a choice in this. Pile 2, you really have a choice in this. There's your card. Yeah, you have a choice in this. I can see you're doing battle. You're doing battle. It's like, I feel like you're doing battle between the safe zone and the potential of the unknown. And this is what we're shown. But, Actually, your reading is really clear. May we have an affirmation of that potential, please? In fact, actually, I'm going to use a different pack here. May we have an affirmation of that potential, please? Kundalini rising, ignite your passion for life. Wow. Wow. The energy of this connection is electric. It's inspiring. This is a transformational connection if you can dare to take it. That is your message. Wow. I don't think I can say any more. Pile 2. If this is resonating with you, thank you for being here, first of all. And if this is resonating with you, do like, share, subscribe. My beautiful pile 2s, this feels like an opportunity of extraordinariness, electricity, chemistry. It's like passion and life. And I see how much dilemma you have around it. But your reading is clear and the information is clear for you. My beautiful pile 2, I'm sending you all the love in the world, and I look forward to seeing you in another reading really, really soon. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have the 5 of Swords and this beautiful feather. What is coming through, I feel, is seeing something from a higher perspective, or honor, integrity, navigating something very carefully. That is what seems to be around you at the moment. Honor and integrity seem to me to be really key. There's something coming through very strongly in your reading, actually. What is this about? Let's draw more cards for you. What is this about? What is this circumstance or this situation? What is we needing to know? Lead the way, light your own path. Okay, so we have the energy of the stag. Yeah, I am seeing you having to navigate something, and this is like, what is the most important thing you need to be aware of for the next 3 months, like a key piece of information. You're needing to navigate something with, it's like integrity will be your shield, is coming through here. You're going to need to lead the way. You're going to need to take a key role in how something is resolved or sorted out. Maybe there is a difference or a division around you in some way, and you're playing a key leadership role in navigating that, in assisting with that. What else are we being shown here for pile 3? You have trust. Okay. You have approve. Okay. I think there are people who will look to you for guidance in a particular situation. They're looking to you maybe for approval in some way, shape or form. Maybe you are also needing to navigate from a place where you contemplate doing something with integrity rather than doing something for approval. You know, I mean, we all kind of want to be liked, don't we? But you can't please all of the people all of the time. What is this about? Okay, so you have 2 cards coming through. We're going to take them both. Revisit and compassion. Yeah. What are we being shown here? Compassion. You're being asked to hold the higher ground. Okay, that I'm seeing in no uncertain terms. Taking the high road, but not in an uppity kind of arrogant way. Taking the high road as in holding the higher vision, rising above something. Not needing to have approval in any way, shape or form, but at the same time kind of having integrity and compassion as well, because there's I feel like a tricky situation around you. Perhaps it could be related to family, to home, for some of you. May we have more information? May we have clarity about this situation, please? Honour your commitments. Okay, be loyal to your soul's longings. This is where you will find joy. This came out in pile 2. We see the castle here as well. Maybe divided loyalties is what I'm seeing here. Perhaps you're being called to... I feel like maybe you find yourself between a rock and a hard place. Excuse me. Maybe there is like some kind of, commitment that you're struggling to uphold or struggling to honour. Maybe there's a dilemma between, you know, something that is right for you versus something that is right for someone else. Or even just a pull on your time. What else are we shown? We have this beautiful sword, Excalibur rising. Yeah, I'm seeing you with clarity. Be led by your own inner soul light. Healing and enlightenment are within. Yeah. I am seeing you rising up to something. And look at this, the chalice. The golden chalice. Heal through changing your story. Begin in this moment. Don't look back. Ah, yes. This is you navigating something that has been a little tricky. I think you felt caught between a rock and a hard place, and there's something to be processed differently. What we're being shown here, pile 3, is that you can actually navigate this in a way that preserves your integrity, but in a kind of a non-confrontational way. You know, there could be a circumstance around you where someone has behaved rather badly, and perhaps you kind of almost, you could end up feeling resentful or feeling like you want retribution. That will be relevant to some of you, but not all. If a message doesn't resonate with you, it's probably for someone else. This is a general reading. But you have a heart of gold. And this is about actually navigating something in a way that's lighting your own path and doing what's absolutely right for you, but kind of from that higher ground. I also want to say that what I'm seeing here is there isn't anything that you cannot handle. I mean, look at the stag showing up twice. Lead the way, light your own path. This is like you rising. Maybe you have been put down, actually. There's been some stuff going on around you where you haven't quite known how to handle it. And now it's like these next couple of months you are able to navigate from a whole new perspective. You're not seeking approval anymore. You can even, you know, see people again, and it doesn't affect you. It doesn't press your buttons. I see you shifting from a place of feeling hurt and wanting to retaliate to moving to a place where you have compassion, but also very clear and firm boundaries. This is you rising in your own strength, your own empowerment, your own agency, not being buffeted about by the opinions of others, particularly those who maybe aren't always behaving particularly well. Like there's division, there's been division around you in some way. I don't think it's your own division. I think you've done your best to stand away from it. We have the 8 of Wands. Your first card. I mean, this is empowerment, this is motion, this is energy. You can change something. Yeah, Knight of Cups. You can change something, you can transform something. Page of Swords. And the Moon. Yeah, something that felt really challenging, you're able to rise above it and handle it, come up with the solutions, come up with the answers, kill them with kindness. You're going to handle this in such an amazing way. Yeah, there's been division, and you're going to be the superstar in this. There's been a really big energy shift in you, actually, and I think you probably know it. And so even though there's going to be like a revisiting, a going back over something, or something that's needing to be viewed or looked at or attended to, you do it differently. It's truly, honestly, it's like a little piece of karmic history or healing has been attended to. And even though, yeah, you're needing to navigate this thoughtfully because you're doing it differently now, so you're on new ground, something in you has shifted and changed. That is what I'm seeing here. It's like you've recentered in a different way. You've found your own empowerment. You're not affected by something anymore. You can revisit it and it doesn't have an impact. It doesn't press your buttons. And this is the key piece of information. The most important thing you need to be aware of is that that transformation that you have been working for, that you've been learning about, you've done it. You've had to do some serious deep diving. For many of you, this may connect to home and family, where maybe there is family history that has pressed your buttons, been really, really difficult and challenging, and you've not known how to handle it. You're on totally solid ground. And this is almost like a reminder to you, an acknowledgement and a validation that you've done this work. There's always a bit of a double edge, I think, with the Five of Swords. There's always a winner and there's always a loser, really, in a way. And so there is a bit of a double edge of energy. I think you've come out the winner because of your integrity. Maybe there is somebody around you who's a little shamefaced or is going to be seen for who they are, held to account in some way, brought into visibility. But, you know, in a way, I don't think you have to concern yourself with it. I think you simply just have to continue being you. There may be some kind of an obligation here where you feel you're obliged to give or have an opinion, or people will seek your leadership. And I think you can now do this in a really boundaried way. I'm going to ask for clarification. What is this circumstance, this situation around pile 3? Loving elementals, 3 of roses, but I see a child. I think this goes back to childhood. There's been some maybe your inner child, the wounds have been stirred up by someone, back to that home and family. Even if this is not directly your home and your family, I think that something has happened that pressed your buttons and took you back into those childhood wounds. But this is now healing. It's like you're healing something. You know that you're not bound by something anymore. You don't need the approval of anybody anymore. You can just be you. It's like you can handle something. It's almost like you can walk into the lion's den and still just be you and walk back out again. It's just, you know, there's just no, someone or a group of people or something of your past no longer has any power over you. This is the important thing to be aware of, this key piece of information. I think you kind of know it, but it's being validated here because it's telling you now. Yes, look at this, the Ark of the Covenant. You have fulfilled some kind of karmic commitment that you came here to do. Perhaps you have resolved something within a family that means a pattern will not be, repeated. You have fulfilled this. The Ark of the Covenant says you are on track karmically. You have fulfilled some obligation. You've healed some element of your own inner child, and in doing so you establish something that's very, very different for yourself, for the people you come into contact with, for future generations. Now, may we see how the relevance of this important piece of information to your next 3 months. How is this panning out? Let's draw more of your tarot cards. How is this panning out? What is the relevance of this information being validated today? Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands and we have the card of Temperance. Aha. So actually, something that was a burden to you or felt like an obligation that came through earlier is no longer so. You can keep things in balance. You can navigate something. I think there is still a circumstance or a situation or a group of people that you do have some kind of commitment to. And yeah, could be home, could be family, could even be a work setting. There is still a situation around you where there is a commitment or an obligation or a responsibility or a sense of duty, but you're no longer burdened by it. You can now keep it completely in balance. And so you handle it differently, completely differently. Yeah, look at this. You're free from what previously would have weighed you down. Totally free from it. Indeed, for some of you, maybe this is actually coming to a complete and utter end. Some of you may have chosen to draw the boundaries and walk away from something that felt like a burden or an obligation. But I am seeing whether this is something where there is still some sort of commitment that you need to revisit, or this is just something that energetically you've done that piece of kind of internal therapy work. The light bulb moments have come. You've peeled back the layers. You're just liberated, whether you're liberated by choosing to walk away permanently or you're liberated because you can walk in and out of this without any effect on you in any way, shape or form. Either way, this is seriously transformational. Yeah, your strength, the strength you have from this is remarkable. You can't be affected by this anymore. You simply can't be affected by it. You can't be manipulated. And I do see maybe for some of you there has been somebody who's been very stuck in their ways, very picks you up, puts you down, bit of a user, greedy, a bit selfish, really, a little bit, if I'm honest. And you're not affected by them anymore. It's like you can take it or leave it. And this has a huge impact, probably really in reality, on the rest of your life, pile 3. So we're being shown here that you can take it or leave it. And there is key advice coming in. We'll draw more cards for additional advice too, but there is key advice here where literally you can take it or leave it. You don't have to. If there was any sense of remaining connected to something that you don't really feel you wish to be connected to, take it or leave it. Pick it up, put it down as it suits. You are no longer burdened by this. This is such a validation. Pick it up, put it down, work it out as it suits you. May we have additional guidance, please, for pile 3 around this circumstance or how this will move on. Okay, Page of Pentacles. What they're saying here is that, there is a possibility as you navigate. This is why we're being shown so much emphasis on this shift in your own energy and your own perspectives. What they're and the holding the higher ground is, what they're saying is, when we start to create a shift and we do something differently and we know we can pick it up or put it down, we often travel back into the kind of the guilt stuff, the guilt trips that really selfish people tend to dump upon us. And so, you may find just as you step up and do your own thing that you kind of get a wave of worry, but this is history and it's not to bother you. Really, this is just letting you know this is a completely normal part of the process of becoming different and doing it differently, and of this learning being consolidated in your world. When we do something for the first time, it's like we can be filled, like standing up to a bully, for example, we can be filled with dread. And yet actually, once we've stood up to them once and we then feel the dread and the worry, and then we realize they haven't retaliated because we stood up to them, and bullies actually tend to target people who won't stand up to them. And so then it's kind of like we have the anxiety and then we realize it's okay. So we feel more confident the next time. So I'm seeing that there is a learning process. You've done the work, but this is about a process that consolidates this in real terms within you. And that's what we're being given the heads up for over the next few months. May we have more guidance, please, for my pile 3. Yeah, you can steer your own ship here. Be resolute. Be resolute. Yeah, and it's not about being cold and hard. The Queen of Swords, sometimes she's known as the Ice Queen. It is just about being really resolute. Don't be emotionally driven in this, because the emotions are what bullies tap into, or selfish people tap into. They try and make you feel bad about yourself. Just be really resolute and hold your course. It's what you're supposed to be doing. Yes, absolutely. And then go off and just have an absolutely fabulous time. Go do the stuff you want to do instead of the stuff that somebody else wishes you to do for them. Okay, there's definitely someone or a group of people around you who have been putting upon you more than they should be. You have processed it. You've worked through this karmically. You can hold the higher ground. And even if, you know, this is a little bit of a tricky situation to navigate through, because it's like doing it differently for the first time, saying no to somebody who expects you to be a yes person to them, and you say no and you have the wobble. Well, say no and then go do your own thing. Yeah, pick it up, put it down as it suits. There's definitely a situation around you, and actually what I'm seeing is it will be completely respected. A lot of the fears are because of the way it has been rather than the way it is now. And you are now stepping into your own power, your own leadership. And yeah, I think this is a very transformational 3 months for you, because you free yourself, you liberate yourself from some pattern or some group of people or someone, whether that is at work or it's family or home or friendship, any kind of group where you were hooked in easily and you've been really wondering what to do about it and how to get out of it. Well, you've done the work, you've peeled back the layers, and wow, this shifts everything. It's like this is now done on your terms, and rightly so, but with integrity and honesty and decency and compassion. And that way you're no longer tied into that sense of frustration. And, you know, when we desire retribution because we're hurt and we're angry and we're feeling put upon, when we just don't buy into it at all, none of that needs to happen. Those emotions are not in play. Pile 3, this is your reading. If this is resonating with you, do like, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining me. And thank you, just thank you so much, all of you. This is a level of soul work, really, this karmic stuff. So wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you for another reading really, really soon. Tons of love to you.